Landscape photography, a black hole, and a shipwreck are three of our topics today on CNN 10. I'm Carl Azus. It's great to have you watching. We're starting with election results in the nation of Israel. This is America's closest ally in the Middle East. It's a parliamentary democracy led by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and he was hoping to win a fifth term as Israeli leader, which would make him the longest-serving prime minister in the nation's history. It was a close race. With more than 97% of the vote counted, Prime Minister Netanyahu's party looked like it was neck and neck with the party of his former chief of staff, Benny Gantz. Each of their parties was projected to win 35 seats. To be prime minister, you need to have the support of at least 61 seats in Israel's Knesset, its parliament. So what election analysts have to do is look beyond the actual number of seats a party won and tally up the number of other seats that are likely to support it. When they did that, it appeared the incumbent prime minister had the advantage because Netanyahu was likely to have a coalition of 65 seats in his favor, while Gantz was likely to have 55 seats. Though both frontrunners initially claimed victory Tuesday night, Gantz's party conceded on Wednesday, meaning the win goes to Netanyahu. The election was complicated by the fact that Prime Minister Netanyahu may be facing corruption charges. He denies doing anything wrong, but the nation's Supreme Court is considering whether he can continue in office if he is formally accused of corruption. 10-second trivia. The theoretical boundary that surrounds a black hole is known as what? Solaris, ephemeris, event horizon, or binary star? The point of no return from which no radiation or light can escape is called the event horizon. Researchers with the National Science Foundation, a U.S. government agency, say a supermassive black hole is more than a Muse song. They say they captured a picture of one and that this is the first direct visual evidence that black holes exist. Some physicists have argued that they don't. In theory, a black hole is a body whose gravity is so intense that not even a light can escape from it. To capture what they say is an image of one, scientists synced up a global network of telescopes in 2017, and they all zoomed in on a spot in the universe that's estimated to be 55 million light years away from Earth. It took 2 years for them to combine the data and produce this picture. What they call the M87 black hole is the shadow in the middle, and they say the orange glow around it is the material that's creating the event horizon. The director of the National Science Foundation says pictures like this help scientists understand the mysteries of black holes and reveal the complexities of the universe. Their investigation of M87 continues. Just as Albert Dross's own investigation of the sky does. He's a Dutch photographer who shoots the stars and the landscapes around him. His images regularly appear in publications like National Geographic, and several cameras, including some of CNN's own, accompanied Dross on a recent trip to Kyrgyzstan. This is a country in Central Asia. It's described by the CIA World Factbook as a land of incredible natural beauty and proud nomadic traditions. Dross's trip proves that one frame at a time.
Landscape photography is really my passion. So this trip is very unique for me because I'm exploring places that I have never been to, but in some places no one has ever been to. I'm Albert Dross. I'm a professional landscape photographer from the Netherlands. I organize a lot of photography workshops and photo tours. I sell prints, I write for some magazines, I write for photography blogs. So through the whole year I'm working a lot, but I also think it's very important to keep innovating. Visit a new country, try to plan a crazy shot. I just want to keep challenging myself. My girlfriend is from Kyrgyzstan and I met her in Amsterdam. And before I met her, actually, I had almost never heard of this country. When I was doing some research online, I was really drawn. I wanted to explore it. Here in Kyrgyzstan, you drive through areas with very interesting canyons. You come to really empty plains where only some shepherds live. You know, I wanted to see places that almost no one has been to. And here I also marked some spots, like right next to the road, you see, so I can lift the drone here. And
so it's actually very close to each other.
You know, when I checked this, I didn't know that this part if it's a road or a ridge or
It's a river, yeah, actually.
a river, yeah, and you can drive there. I picked this timing for this trip specifically to shoot some stars and Milky Way shots. So during the day we usually scout around, do some shots with the drone. I use Google Earth, but also planning apps for my phone and for the computer. Milky Way, 3 o'clock, this direction. During the night I will then go there to photograph them. The fun thing and also the challenging thing about these shots is that we plan them together and we execute them during the night. It's pitch black and it's around -10 degrees. It's a bit difficult in the beginning when you have to wake up at 3 or 4 a.m. But once you're out there, it's just beautiful. See?
Cool.
Then if you would stand here, then it's also nice. Yes, like this, yeah, good. In these canyons there's a lot of interesting structures and you can really play with light. We're using Timur's headlamp to light up this rock, which we actually called the iceberg, and it gives a really magical effect. It looks really like a science fiction poster. We also brought an old oil lamp that we would use to light up a scene, and it gives a very nice soft light result in the frame. These sceneries, they offer so much possibilities for night shootings, but the end result is not only the picture you see, it's the whole experience that we had taking this picture. So in this country, you can really find beauty anywhere. When we're driving around, I look out the window and often I just see scenes. I saw this really beautiful tree against this huge mountain backdrop, and there were some horses walking around. We also visit a water reservoir, a big lake, which was partly frozen. I could fly the drone and see top down. A very interesting contrast between the landscapes, amazing textures from the sky. And it's very easy. Here in Kyrgyzstan, on most of the roads, you can just stop, get out, take the shot. Scenes like this, they're totally unplanned. Sometimes you will get great shots just from that. Through my images, especially from a place like this that not that many people have seen, I want to show how beautiful these places are, and that is definitely worth to visit. The hospitality everywhere is very good, and the locals here in general, it's like you go back in time. They live in the mountains, it's beautiful nature around them. It's very interesting to see how these people live. What impressed me the most was really that you have all these different kind of landscapes just in one place. Canyons, like in Utah. The mountains that we have in Europe, peaks that you see in the Himalaya. It's very inviting for me as a landscape photographer to go out there and explore the beauty of the country.
From land and sky to sea, the Mediterranean Sea, where a Turkish underwater research team found a shipwreck believed to be 3,600 years old. They think it was a merchant ship loaded with blocks of copper and that it sank in a storm while traveling to the island of Crete or possibly somewhere in the Aegean Sea. Turkish media say this could be the oldest shipwreck ever discovered. Some called the finding a breakthrough in underwater archaeology. Which sounds archaeological. The rudderly amazing find made a boom and a splash, generating a lot of hullabaloo and making researchers keel over with excitement. It's Jibs the thing to rope into our show before we port ways for the day, but we'll have Or to tiller you about tomorrow, so we hope you'll head sail back our way. For CNN 10, I'm Carl Azus.